Hey everyone, how's it going? Ken Lamog here, author and illustrator. Kamusta na po mga kababayan? And thanks for checking out the crowdfunding campaign for Petro book number 2. So the story of Petro is about this boy who would often get into trouble because of his laziness. He tried to do a specific task, but he'd try to do a shortcut, and he would dig himself deeper into problems. But through his curiosity, his ingenuity, creativity, and sometimes the kindness of his heart, he's able to find ways out of these problems, and at the same time, helping those people around him. So in Petro book number 1, Petro and the Flea King, Petro's hometown in the Philippines gets invaded by the Flea King and his minions. And Petro's really worried about this because he's worried for his hometown, and he's also worried about his aging grandmother, who he has these nightmares that's gonna get attacked by the Flea King. And so he kind of accidentally takes on the mantle of the hometown hero, and he tries to figure out a way how to stop the Flea King. The idea of Petro is very loosely based on a popular character from Filipino folktales, and his name is Juan Tamad, which basically means Lazy Juan. And so that's kind of the nugget, the seed that started the idea for Petro. And so I took that idea of the lazy boy and I started to incorporate various creatures, characters, and that's kind of how the world of Petro grew. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to create my own story that's based on the Filipino culture. And I really didn't know what form that would take. And it was only about 8+ years ago when I started really thinking about creating it. And so that's when I realized that it could be a graphic novel. Petro's world is magical and filled with many creatures and characters from Filipino folktales and mythologies. And these are the same stories that I grew up in, and I always wanted to share them with the world. The choice of making Petro a wordless graphic novel was a conscious one. I wanted the reader to sit and pause at each picture and really be immersed and absorb the world in every page and illustration that they're in. I've received a lot of positive feedback from teachers who use the Petro books as a text for hesitant readers. Without the words, they're less intimidated. They get to focus on the illustrations and enjoy the story as is. And a lot of them enjoy creating their own words and writing their own dialogue and their own story. And so this was kind of a bonus, and it really warms my heart that the book is being used this way. In 2020, Petro and the Flea King was actually selected to represent Nevada at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, we were all stuck at home in 2020, but it was still a great honor to be selected to be able to share the story of Petro and the Filipino culture to the world. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Please read the campaign description below, check out some of the rewards, maybe something in there resonates with you. I hope that you share this campaign with your friends, and I hope that you join us on the Petro book number 2 adventure. Thank you so much. See you soon.